Hello there, folks. Welcome to another Facebook Live. You're here with Dan from Organic Digital, and today we're talking about good habits. Good habits as a Facebook advertiser, though. If this is your first time on Facebook Live, then welcome. Thank you for your attention. My name's Dan from Organic, and at Organic, we help small to medium businesses both train, educate, and manage their Facebook advertising campaigns. And we've developed some good habits here at Organic. Speaking of good habits, if you, one, can hear me, or two, enjoying what you're hearing throughout this Facebook Live, then don't forget to tap that thumbs up for me so I can know that there's some people out there. Habits, good habits. Not bad habits, good habits as a Facebook advertiser, because as you start to run more Facebook advertising campaigns and get into more of a routine, and you're relying more on Facebook to deliver results for your business, then it's important that you have some processes and some systems set up to make your life easier and to make sure that you can deal with any changes in campaigns, and you can react and also monitor the results as they go. So people ask me, particularly for clients and also my own ads, how often I monitor them. But early on in campaigns, I generally actually monitor them on a day-to-day basis. And I know that sounds really anal to jump in there all the time and looking at Facebook ads. And for some people, that might sound terrible. But I'm going to give you some tips on how I can actually monitor them without having to log into Facebook Ads Manager every day, because we manage a lot of different campaigns. But just because I'm monitoring them and having a look at their results doesn't mean that I'm actually adjusting them, particularly early on. And even when I do make any adjustments to campaigns, I need to give Facebook time and the algorithm time to adjust, learn from the new data that I've given them, whatever edits that I've made, and allow them to put them in place and get the best results for my campaign. And if I'm constantly doing that on the day-to-day basis, they're just constantly, they can't find actually what's working and what isn't working. So from a habits perspective, probably the most important habit is just to be patient with Facebook advertising. I know it is tempting when you set a campaign and it says that it's going live and you're like hitting refresh every hour waiting for the numbers to come through. I get that. Like, it's exciting to have stuff out there promoting your business, but you just need to rely on Facebook to do their thing, because they know how to do their thing, and they do it for millions of different advertisers around the world. Speaking of how I monitor them, there are a couple of, I'm not always in front of my laptop every single day. So I use a couple of different resources. There is a Facebook advertising app, a mobile app, that allows you to, it's pretty clunky, to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of it. It allows you, if you're boosting campaigns and doing really engagement campaigns, and they give you some top line numbers which are okay. For me, it's really only if something urgent happens that I need to turn something on or off, but I generally wouldn't actually make any big major edits or changes to campaigns via the Facebook advertising app. But it is out there if you want to keep an eye on how your ads are going. But when it comes to conversions and more detailed numbers, they don't have very good reporting there. There is another app that I found recently, and we've used it with clients. Both they've got a great desktop site as well as a really good mobile app, actually, called DataBox, and I'll put a link to that website in the comments of this Facebook Live. But that allows you to track results as you're going. Basically, you can set up your own custom templated sort of dashboard, I guess, of the results that actually matter to you. So and they go a little bit more in depth, so you can actually track conversions. I know their paid option allows you to track custom conversions as well, but they track general conversions. So at least you can see, and they track sales as well, so you can actually see what's been spent and how much you're earning if you're doing that via Facebook advertising as well. So I will either generally log in via the desktop or on the mobile app to Databox just to see how the ads are going, and you can set different time lines with them as well. Both you can do for the last day or last week or up to a month or last month, and I think there's 90 days or something like that as well. But I've found that one really good. It's also quite visually nice as well to see all the graphs and the trackings over time as well. So highly recommend Databox if you're looking at monitoring things all the time. The other option, of course, is rather than if you're just wanting to track maybe the end results and those results are happening on your website, then Google Analytics has a pretty good app as well. So you can actually track your analytics data on your website to see potentially how many sales you've got or how many people have hit the page, how many people have registered, or whatever system it is that you might be using. Maybe you've got a Shopify website. I know they've got a mobile app as well. So I always just keeping an eye on things to make sure really what I'm looking for is just that the results aren't going over a certain threshold, or there isn't something out of the ordinary, basically. To help also monitor and manage if something drastic happens and maybe there's a spike one day that you're just paying too much for sales in that day, what you can actually do is via Facebook advertising set up automated rules, and they have this option in Power Editor, and it's also in your ads manager. I think it's actually a menu option as well, where you can set up different rules to perform certain behaviors when numbers are triggered, and you can set them from a campaign, an ad set, or an ad level as well. So I actually have certain rules set in there just to send me a notification. So it doesn't, I can actually set them to do things like turn it off or increase or decrease the bid or budgets and stuff like that. But I just get them to send me a notification. So at least it lets me know that, hey, this has changed, something's happened, and it just triggers me to at least get in there and have a look what's happening and whether I need to take any action or not. But automated rules are a really good way just to keep an eye on things, and once they're set and forget, and like the title, they're automated, so they will let you know how they're going. And speaking of notifications, all of the notifications from engagement, like comments and likes and shares, etc., is happening or will be notified in your page as well, because they're effectively page posts, even though they may be hidden posts as well. So just monitoring notifications, and you should be doing this from a community management perspective anyway, but that can give you some feedback on how the ads are performing and the feedback that people are giving the ads as well. So you can both use the Pages Manager on your mobile app, or obviously log into Facebook via the desktop site and just monitoring what people are saying and how they're interacting and engaging with your advertisements as well. From a reporting basis, so after a day-to-day and just monitoring them over time, I have my own template that is a weekly report, and I'm happy to send you that template as well. If you just leave a comment in this video asking for the template, I'll make sure that I flick it through to you. But basically the weekly report for every client and for myself as well, I've got it set in the calendar that I have preset options and preset columns in the reporting, ad sets, advertising reporting, and you can set up those columns as well. And I save that as a preset option. I select that option and then I just go export. Mine's actually a Google sheet or an Excel sheet that I basically export that data, copy and paste it in there, and I've got every week. I've got different months in there and stuff like that as well, or different quarters rather, otherwise it gets quite long. But really from a reporting basis, if you're doing weekly reports, you just need to find a system that works for you. Like that works for me, but some people might not ever actually log in to look at their Google data or those Google Sheets, or actually export their data ever. They just want to see how things are performing maybe over a weekly or monthly basis. And at the end of each month as well, I just pull a report for that month as well. And I guess the weekly reports help me give more of a granular look at how they performed at each week of the month as well. And if there was anything in there that drastically affected the results. And in my Google Sheet as well, I have another tab that just has like tasks done. I also do this for clients as well, just to let them know that I'm in there doing stuff on their actual campaigns, and I just haven't set it and forget, because that's no good. So I actually have comments in there on changes that I've made. So then if there is something like maybe 3 months down the track, I'm like, man, this ad set's killing it, or maybe it's bombing, I can go, why has it done that? It's been performing really well, and now there's this sharp drop off. Or maybe it was a change that I've made before, and I can go back to my notes and have a look at any changes that were made, and potentially if they've affected the results of those campaigns as well. And that just allows me to troubleshoot all the stats that are relevant to that campaign. So not just the money in and money out, but I also pull all of the different troubleshooting stats around, and I export it at an ad set level. So the middle level, I export the data for each of the ad sets themselves. And then if an ad set isn't performing very well, I'll then log in. I'll then go down to the advertisement level, and I'll pull the data for that to see how that each of the individual ads are actually performing as well. But speaking of troubleshooting, we're going to be covering that topic in next week's Facebook Live, or I'll let you know in the comments exactly when it will be. But basically, the numbers that you need to monitor and keep an eye on things just to see how they are performing and make sure that they aren't triggered as well. But the bottom line comes down to the best habits that Facebook advertisers have are ones that have systems and processes built in to make their job easier for them. And really that is different for different people. And you really need to find what works for you, what works for your schedule, what you need to do on a day-to-day basis. But take advantage of some of those resources, and I'll put all of the links to those resources in the comments of this Facebook Live. But take advantage of some of those resources, such as the app, such as the automated rules, and the ability to pull reports. And also, actually, I didn't even mention the automated reports as well. So I have set automated reports from, I actually do them on my month by month report. So I go in manually each week and I do that, but I have my monthly reports set up on an automated reporting system. So it's actually an option in the Facebook mega menu called reports, where you can set up a preset one that basically has the columns that you want to look at, and it will email or send you a notification, either or a CSV or a PDF download of the results from whenever they are. And once you set that up, then you don't need to remember to go in there all the time and actually export those reports, but you can actually grab that and then log into whatever system it is. Again, if you would like my reporting template, the numbers that I look at, by all means, leave a comment in this Facebook Live and I'll send it through to you. But thanks so much again for your attention today. I know different people love different habits out there, and I guess there are habits as a Facebook advertiser as well. It might not sound that interesting to some people, but it's really important to get those systems and processes down right. So thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time. As always, if you've got any questions or any feedback on any of our Facebook Lives, and if you would like to, and I'd really appreciate you if you could hit the share button and share this Facebook Live to some people that you think would be relevant to them and that could do with this information. But thanks so much again. It's bye for now.